going on, everyone? We're here once again doing some bodybuilding in Christ. We have a special guest today on GOCC Media, and I'll let him introduce himself. But first and foremost, I am Elder Ariaga Bar from GOCC Houston. I started with the church about 13 years ago, and I want to bring all the gifts of the people of the Most High to fruition. So you're going to be seeing more future guests on, just like last week we had Sister Brandy and her husband Shamashawan on the weight loss journey. Okay, and so today we're going to be talking a little bit about You Understand the Garden. Okay, so we're going to have a lot of things when it comes to the garden, different type of styles, all different types of knowledge, different, whatever people want to bring from their spirit, we're going to bring it. So we're in a beautiful garden today that this man has, been putting his hands to the plow and he's going to talk about a few things that he's experienced along the way, and just show you whatever the Most High has blessed him with. So you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Stan for Jerusalem Naturals. I've been gardening for approximately maybe about 15 to 18 years now. And I'm a part of the Gathering of Christ Church, the body of Christ. And I've just loved to express my talents when it comes to the soil, when it comes to growing, when it comes to just living natural. So it's my life's duty to bring information on how to do that to my people, because it's a lot of stuff we're not privy to. We lost a lot of that. So if I can bring my people back to that natural living and that understanding of nature, because nature was here before we were, and that, I'll be content with that.
All right. So first, would you like to tell people how you got introduced into the truth, or whatever your journey was, just briefly?
So I got into the truth about 2016. It was a bumpy road. I was at my lowest estate, but that seems to be where the Most High uses us the most. So I was at a crossroads, whether it was embellish the Most High or embellish the streets, and I chose the better. And it's been a great transition. It's been a great learning. It's been a great path. Ever since then, I've been in these scripts, and I've just really learned how to become a more natural man according to those scripts. You know what I'm saying? How to live those laws, and how those laws benefit how a man can just truly be instead of trying to be. So I'll leave it there. But yeah, I've been in the truth for about 5 years now. Started in 2016, kind of learning little things. I'm a Jew, and okay, what is this? And Leviticus and Exodus and things of that nature. And it has blossomed into a life in Christ that I really could not have described before this. So.
And you want to tell the people, do you know what your tribe you're from?
I'm from the tribe of Benjamin.
Okay, all right. And the reason I asked that, because the brother can throw down on some of that good old jerk chicken.
We got that coming.
Let me tell you, we're going to have to bring him on for that as well. I'm not saying he or myself or we're the only people doing it, but we're bringing everybody, you understand, to the table, showing that we are not just a negative people of what they're trying to show on the news and things like that, and portray us in so many different negative manners. And not only that, honestly, we all see them doing the same thing, but they just never get on the news and show them in their negative traits or things that we all may go through in life, all of our ups and downs. But this brother can throw down on that grill. Let me tell you, he had a whole church running to make sure that they getting a piece of that leg quarter jerk chicken, some of this good old natural wine, because he makes wine too, right? So this is a beautiful brother. And the last tabernacles, people were sitting down just enjoying and praising the Most High, and this brother is just enjoying people as they just have a good time with the Most High. He's a family guy, and I can tell he's a family guy too, because when you're a gardener or you're a husbandman, we understand that it takes patience, right, to receive your fruit, the fruits of your labor and the fruits of your work. So it's no different than kind of raising a baby. When you got your seedlings, you have to understand the soil biology, the microbes. You have to understand all of these things that he's going to go into later with. So how did you start, or what inspired you to start gardening?
You might not believe this.
People have many different stories, so I'm just like, wow.
My gardening experience started from insectophobia. Believe it or not, I had a
Whoa.
I had a deep fear.
Explain to the people what insectophobia is about, because I know a lot of our people out there have it.
I was afraid of insects.
There you
Any
go.
bugs that I thought were in the house. I could not sleep until I knew it was dead. I could not function right. I was like, oh my God, is that a roach? I had arachnophobia, spiders. Yo, get it away from me, right? And come to find out, I'm just being a kid. I'm learning things, and I'm finding out there are plants that eat bugs. So I'm like, this is made for me. This is made especially for me. I like to be outside. I like plants.
You showed us something, not to interrupt you, but he showed us something like you got some type of fly eating plant or something like that. But go ahead.
Yeah, and we'll get into that soon as well. But my carnivorous plants is just, it cultivated a passion, and then it made a hobby, and then it became a lifestyle. So I started learning how to cultivate these plants. They're actually very specific and hard to take care of plants. And when I found out, I can do this, I've mastered that. I had a small nursery of maybe about 25 to 30 carnivorous plants alone. I started learning about just herbals like sage and thyme and things like that, and that was way easier to take care of. You know what I'm saying? So that also cultivated into, okay, fruits and things of that nature. I'm a Benjamite, so I've actually been back home, the Caribbean, and back and forth. So I know the soursop, the star fruit, the guava, the pineapple, and I've had it fresh from untampered with land, right? And it just clicked. I need to bring that here. I need to bring untempered, natural fruits, vegetables, herbs here, because I've noticed the lifestyle there is completely cultivated around that. So
they getting, they're getting many, much things from the ground, like just mineral, just soil packed with, minerals and vitamins and things that, and then probably natural fungus that it takes to build up great plants, and so a great system for us.
Yes, sir.
That we're lacking, because I know, like, to try to go get an apple, especially an apple that's not organic, it may take 14 to 20 apples to reach the nutritional value to that one apple. So exactly what you're saying is on point. So that's what inspired you. Insectophobia. That's crazy.
Yep.
So it led you to that. And so what are you doing now? What would you say? What's your goals? What have you been doing now? Before we go into like a tour of his garden, because we have two gardens to look at, right? He has a purpose for each one. So
yes,
go ahead.
So what I've been doing lately has been more focusing on mycology, how fungus works in the soil, the decomposition of different variants of fungus, whether it be mycorrhizal or endomorphal or things of that nature. I'll break that stuff down a little bit later, but that's what I've been focusing in now. So I've mastered, so to speak, because none of us can master Earth. It's really the Most High's power
Wow.
through us that we can even learn these type of things. But I've learned it to a point where I've got the basics down, like my herbs, my fruits, my veggies, and things of that nature. But now I want to learn what takes place in the soil, underground, and get a basics of that, so that I can even further my knowledge and share it with the people so they can do it as well.
So you're like a Hebrew scientist of the ground. That's what he's trying to be, and
like
that's what he's doing. Because honestly, the more you study this, and I know he can be a testament to what I'm saying. The more you want to learn how great the creation of the Most High is, how fungus can actually bring water to the root of this plant and things like that. And that's just a basic level of how powerful. I mean, you would think fungus has a brain, but the spirit of the Most High, it's in all things.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, it is, man. It's beautiful. You sparked something there when it comes to fungus having a brain. Scientists recently discovered that there is a slime mold that actually can navigate through different mazes to find the most functional path to nutrition.
Wow.
So if that can be manipulated in soil, what can take place underground is a direct line to the best nutrition, whether it be in your northern part of your yard or whether it be in 5 houses down from you.
Wow.
That slime mold will go to the most nutritious, dense this is my hypothesis, right? And this is why I've gone into mycology. But they can search out where the most nutritious land is and bring that nutrition directly to your plants.
Wow, yeah, that lines up exactly with some of the things that I've been studying. And this is the thing that I love, that we can all learn from each other and continue to build and get better. Why should we take more time trying to do something alone, to receive greatness alone, when if there is something that we can get better from, or people we can get better from, we bring it together and just continue to grow, and not waste more time, because we don't have much time, let's be honest. We're dealing with chemtrails, right? We're dealing with unnutritional food, burning the food plants, all of these types of things, where we really need to learn how to use our hands, how to understand the ground when the ground needs help, how to fix it. And he's going to tell us a little bit about these things. First off, what plant are we sitting in front? We have a beautiful scenery back here, and I said let's do it right here, because we're in like a little greenhouse or sun house, whatever you want to call it, and it's just a beautiful environment. You can feel the life around us. You can actually feel it. So now this plant smells like a little marijuana, but we don't do that over here, as you know. This thing is strong, but can you tell us something about this plant? Because he actually gifted me with one of these plants. Tell us about this plant here.
This is paracetamol. This is one of the main ingredients in medicines you get, like Motrin and Tylenol and things of that nature. Anti-inflammatory, bacterial, and things like that, anti-free radical and things of that nature. So what you're smelling,
it's like a weed. It's like, when I say weed, not this time weed like marijuana, I'm saying it grows like a weed. It's like, wow.
Yeah,
it's pretty strong.
It grows profusely. To kill this plant almost has to be intentional. So that was one of the main reasons why I gave it to you, because I know that in your hands, as well as a gardener, you can make that plant go. What you're smelling is actually the terpenes from the plant. I have an episode on terpenes on my Instagram channel. Terpenes are volatile carbohydrates that are in the plant that produces essential oils, right? So it smells so much like marijuana because they actually both share quite similar volatile carbohydrates, similar terpenes and things of that nature.
And I just mentioned the word. We not promoting that. We don't do that. We don't promote the devil's plant. It just was a joke, but yeah, it definitely has a strong smell. But I'm glad the brother actually explained what it is and what it does, because there's a lot of plants like this that we're going to have to depend on when the system may be down. Like, these herbs are very important to help us to continue to be healthy, right? Okay, and go ahead.
Well, I wanted also to dispel a lot of the stigma out there. This plant shares those carbohydrates in common with that plant, which actually furthermore proves you don't need to deal with marijuana to get the medicinal effects of it, and deal with the psychological and all the stuff we're trying to stay away from. If you really are
the demonic gateways,
right. If you're really trying to heal yourself, and it's really about medicine, you got paracetamol right here. There's no getting high from this plant, but there is healing from it. So it really puts the ball in your court. What do you really want? Do you want to heal, or are you looking for a high?
And the great part about what he said is that, see, when the Most High gives something, now we know, of course, if anything you can't do too much of. If you drink too much water, you can drown your system out, right? But you see, the tree of good and evil, they give you the good, and the evil, it follows out of nowhere, and you don't know you've been caught in a trap. But when you do things in decency and order, you do your studies, and you find out how much do I need to take of whatever plant or food I'm eating, you understand? If you take too much nutmeg, you'll start hallucinating, and that's a natural, lawful thing that we can eat. So I'm here to say that even though there's things that's lawful, like Paul said, all things not expedient. You can't just because it's good, just start piling yourself up with it. You have to know how much to take, when to take it, what hour to take it, right? So that it can actually be very effective for you. Okay. So yeah, what you got here? Some carrots, or what's this here?
No,
you said this was wormwood.
That's wormwood, right?
I've never actually seen wormwood before, so it's interesting that you just have it just lying around. So what is this good for?
This is my Artemisia castoli.
You sound like you speaking Latin.
As we know, the Latins have put their name on everything, right? But we know this is wormwood. This is a plant that our ancestors used. to purge themselves and clean themselves and things of that nature.
Mm.
It's a very bitter plant, but a very effective plant when it comes to cleaning the blood. Also anti-inflammatory as well. It works as a, I wouldn't say pesticide, but a pest repellent.
Really?
Oh man, both of these actually perform pest repelling, nature and stuff like that. So what'll happen is this also has terpenes in it that bugs hate to be around. The smell of it smells quite floral. If you want to give it a whiff right there, it smells very floral. But
it's beautiful.
Yeah, to a grasshopper or something like that you want out of your garden, they can't stand it.
See, he's putting me on game. I'm gonna have to bring him to my garden because I'm still setting up, getting my ground ready. I have to bring some more dirt and things. But when I have my garden, if you need to pay to fly this guy out to bring him to your garden to make sure everything is on point, he's the man to do it, and he seriously is gonna make it happen. Okay.
I got you. So both of these plants can actually be used as bordering plants for something you want to keep pest free. What you may see in my garden and what I'll show you is I'll plant this as a partnering plant with maybe a fruit tree like one of my guavas up front, that the roots go deep enough to not have to be in competition with this plant. But it'll survive in that pot enough to the point where it creates a barrier. It'll actually fill out the entire diameter of the pot and keep things out. And I haven't had to worry about pests on that guava plant since I've done that.
Really? So explain it again. So are you saying that this has something to do with pests not coming to your guava plant? Is this what you're saying?
Absolutely. 100%. So
you planted it around there, you're saying?
I actually put one sliver in there. So this is such a territorial plant that one cutting is almost guaranteed to give you roots. That's how much of a persistent grower it is. And what it'll do is it'll creep. As it grows, it'll grow until it can't stand up anymore and fall over. And wherever it falls over, when it becomes damp, it'll just shoot out more roots there, do the same thing. And what that does is it'll fill out the entire diameter of the pot with your guava, pineapple, whatever you want in the middle, and it'll act as an actual fencing barrier.
Is this something similar to what they call companion planting or something different?
This is very much companion planting as well. It'll the roots are actually so shallow that they stay somewhat to topsoil level and break down nitrogen for the actual plant you're trying to cultivate.
This plant here helps to break down the nitrogen.
Yes, sir.
Now that is so important, man, because a lot of times when we're decomposing things, we don't understand that we have to have a balance. There's certain trees that you can plant that actually put nitrogen in the ground and all of that. So he just gave some good game right there to where this plant, what's the name of it again?
Paracetamol.
Paracetamol actually helps to break down nitrogen in the ground. This is powerful. This is a great part about why I love gardening, because I understand the scriptures more and more that I learn in the garden. I mean, you know how Christ is always explaining and talking about the garden, the garden, and separate the wheat from the tares and this and that. How you purge a tree to be able to get more fruit. It's like it's so close to life in general. It's just amazing. So look, guys. Before we go, I didn't eat anything, so he has these beautiful bananas that he just got off a banana tree. He's gonna show us. How long you said you had that banana tree in there?
These banana trees that I'm about to show you guys, we've had them for 26 years that we've been staying here, but they have been here since the previous owner.
Wow.
So this is generational plants here. They've survived freezes, died down, come back through that bountiful root system that it has, right? And during spring, what you thought would never come back, they come back, and 6 months after that, they're like 12 feet tall.
I was just going to ask you that because I had my banana tree die when the last winter came. We call it the purpose to winter, but you understand. But every time it continues to come back, as long as it has a rootstock. I did go and mulch it a little heavier. I tried to put blankets over it, but for some reason it still died. But guess what? It came right back. I had to cut it down and I thought I lost it. The banana trees continued to come back. So would you mind if we taste some of these beautiful bananas?
It'd be an honor.
Yo, young man, can you handle some of these bananas right there? Yeah, give us some of those bananas. Bring them over here. Yeah, You can get one too. Come on over here. All right, go get one more so you can taste it. Yeah.
So I've actually picked these this morning. I went out and was just doing some little
one. He got this off of his street. You want to taste it? Come on over here.
This is what's up.
You taste it on camera. You know the kids ain't gonna lie.
Natural.
Look at that. Look at that sugar content in there. Ooh. And the funny part, this boy greedy. He just ate a banana before he came here.
Oh yeah.
You can tell this thing is natural. I'm gonna tell you right now. Whoa. Get that thing here. Hold it. It's yours. Look at the camera and tell them how it tastes. Taste that thing.
Try it.
Taste it, eat it. What you think? Is it good?
He's like, it's a banana.
He's so shy. You like it though? Whoa. That is different. That is totally different. Whoa.
And you can taste
that is totally different.
Yeah, man. Tell me what you think. What you thinking?
Whoa. It's totally different. It doesn't taste
natural.
It doesn't taste anything like the ones in the stores. I had to be, and I'm not. You know, some people say that just to be on camera, but no, this actually tastes very different. We definitely gonna have to give one to the cameraman.
Oh, for sure. For sure. I got you.
All right.
What I want you to notice.
Son. Go ahead. Here, take this with that.
Is that
put that back on the table?
These bananas don't taste forcefully sweet. If you taste one of these and taste one from the store, the amount of sugar they pump into those trees to appeal to people's palates is actually putting more carbohydrates in people's body than what they need.
Right, that makes a lot of sense.
Which actually would help to fatten you rather than give you the nutrition that you need from that fruit.
Right, right. And you would say, and you would agree that bananas are really naturally small.
Yes.
Or am I wrong? Is there some banana trees that you researched that? I've seen red bananas. I've seen all different types of bananas, but mostly the originals I've seen is small.
Most of the bananas that I've ever encountered that were natural out of people's yard, even back home in the Caribbean, they're not super long bananas that you see in Walmart and things of that nature.
I'm not saying every now and then you don't get a bunch that's like that, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about the variants you get. Now, what they do is a lot of GMO and a lot of splicing of these fruits. And they also do a lot of grafting as well to try to get the biggest banana to sell it for the biggest cost. You know what I'm saying?
So would you like to give us a nice tour of the garden before we go into your other garden to discuss soil biology and things like that?
I'll be honored.
All right.
All right, guys. So we're in the garden. This is a tour of my first garden. I just all started here in this backyard. And first things first, this is my rue plant. Very similar in the way it grows to my wormwood.
What's it called again?
Rue.
What do you do?
R-U-E. This can be used if you have like a cold or a flu or things of that nature. It also, fun fact, it can be used to help women on their menstrual cycle.
Okay.
To help with their symptoms and things of that nature. So this is a very medicinal
You can just
plant.
eat it naturally?
Yes, oh yeah. Slightly peppery.
Yeah. Ooh, that's kind of nice though, actually.
Very strong, very potent. So I also have more of my paracetamol here. Like I said, I use it as a barrier plant.
And you said you got this from Jamaica.
I got it from St. Kitts. My mother is from St. Kitts.
Gotcha.
So I'm a Benjamite on both sides. My father's from Ghana. My mother's from St. Kitts.
Gotcha.
And whenever we used to frequent, I always was like, hey, man, let me put this in my shoe real quick and bring this back to the States. I got to bring this back home. I got to try to grow this, man. I almost had a coconut plant, but it didn't make it. Ooh. So this is more of that. You can see what I did here. I had a callaloo here, and I wanted to use it as like a little barrier of protection while it was growing and going to seed, and it actually flourished, man. One little slit in a few months grows into this. Just months. So, yes, sir. I have my pennyroyal here. Pennyroyal is also a medicinal plant that can be used for the body and things like that when you need it.
Gotcha.
I do not recommend pregnant women to use this plant at all. It's on some Roe v. versus Wade type stuff. You don't want to be using this plant
Yeah,
when you're pregnant.
Anyway, when you're pregnant, you want to make sure you're doing your research.
For sure.
You know, when you have an investment or something that's coming into your life important, you got to make sure you do your due diligence to make sure that you do your research. You know, for things like that. Very important.
Yes.
Another thing, you shouldn't be taking hibiscus when you're pregnant. Moringa. I'm just putting it out there since he said that. You got to do your studies and your research.
For my sisters. Got to let y'all know that just don't be taking herbs. Oh, I'm natural and I can take this. This came from the earth. Know your body. Yeah. Know what condition your body's in. Your body is a temple, a special temple because it carries life. So remember that. Got my sages here for those who like to cook. Very strong sage. Very fragrant.
I know about that sage.
Love to cook with it. It has a lot of
I'm talking about
medicinal benefits as well. I have my go-to cola to help people with blood pressure and things of that nature.
Right.
And if you want to come over here, I have some okras that I actually thought wasn't going to come back, but that root system is doing so well that it's coming back already. I have some passion fruit vine growing here that I put all this fencing up so as it grows it has something to catch on to.
Gotcha.
And really just stabilize itself as it gives me fruit. This is one of my guavas here.
Yeah, I can tell that's a nice guava.
Doing
right
great. One of my Thai guavas, they get huge. So looking forward to that. And that's my wood supply right there for when times get rough.
Gotcha.
I have my Mexican mint here. Great for teas in the morning, to get you in that kind of a, okay, I'm ready to get out of bed and get going type mode. I love that tea in the morning time. This is my more mature guava plant right here. And so yeah, I can't move this Mexican mint anymore because it was actually so happy and the root system was so flourished that it stretched into the mulching of this plant, and now they are one. They are one.
It has a little different, it smells like mint, but it's a little different. Wow.
My mom uses it as seasoning. So back home in the islands, they call this sticky thyme. And they use it as thyme. They'll cook with it and things of that nature. This is my star fruit. Actually doing crazy right now. In the last 2 months, it's doubled in size. I got some flowers going on down here, so hopefully I have some star fruit this season.
Man, I'm gonna have to come one day once that thing gets bigger and do some what do you call it? Is it air pruning? No. It's I forget the name right now. I'll come back to it.
I know what you're talking about. By talking about getting roots from it, like stripping that outer layer, wrapping it around. Yeah, that's a very, actually, if you really want to get roots and get genetics, go to the uppermost part of the plant where it's still green and not woody. Cut that, and I'm giving y'all some game. Use honey. Honey, dip the cutting in honey, and honey acts as a rooting hormone, and it's also antibacterial, so it keeps bad funguses away and all the things of that nature, so it can get roots.
Gotcha.
I got my Malabar spinach growing out of that same pot by accident, and I put all this fencing up so things can stabilize themselves. I am actually going to cut this back.
Why did I see one of these things in my where I used to live? I don't know what it was. It had the same things.
They grow like crazy. They grow like crazy.
You think it's native here, or is it just a weed? Or
most likely, if you saw it growing where you're at, somebody had it growing and just left it. And I'll show you. All these are seeds. They'll eventually mature, turn black in fall, and they will rapidly spread. So it's really no guessing where it started from when it comes to you seeing it.
What's the nutritional value with this one?
High in iron, zinc, magnesium, a lot of trace elements that your body needs, a lot of the micro. A lot of people forget their micros and think all about their macros. This is actually, go ahead if you want to get at it, taste it as well. You could taste the minerals in it.
You're gonna have to give me some of this plant.
As you chew it.
Some of this in my garden.
And this is what I do.
They grow like a weed.
No, oh, definitely. This is only like maybe a 2 months worth of growth, and it's already growing on that trellis and growing on this trellis. It's a fairly young plant.
And where did you get this plant from?
I got this from an African lady on my route at work. So as I go to work and I'm assessing people's water systems and things of that nature, that's what I do. in Babylon. I conversate and I talk with them, and especially if I look through their window and I see something growing, that's a quick conversation starter, right? And what I've learned about people who grow in the community, we like to share plants. No real gardener wants to keep their plants for themselves and not give it to someone else who has a passion for it. So she gave me this. She gave me the mint that I have up front that's growing like crazy. Everything she gave me took off. Everything she gave me. So her hand was definitely blessed. Definitely.
Okay.
Go on over here. You want some spinach? You gonna eat it?
Probably not. he eats his greens at home, but that's probably not the first thing.
So
I got some donuts.
this is my baby callaloo. I
Okay.
actually got this as a gift from a Jamaican lady on my route. So she gave me a little bit of the seeds and a little cutting, and every callaloo that you see me have came from her garden, and she got that from Jamaica. So that's doing great. This is a plant that I really want to expound on. This is my toothache plant, right? I don't know if I ever gave you one of these.
Looks like a green strawberry, unripe strawberry.
You'll see in a minute, though. This is actually a natural anesthetic.
Wow.
So if someone is going through pain, suppose we're camping in the wilderness, so to speak, right? And someone is injured, someone needs an anesthetic to stop the pain immediately so they can be operated on. This is what you would use.
Really?
And the more practical use is if you have a toothache, if something's rotten in your mouth and you just really need to tide yourself over until you see the dentist, go ahead and chew that about 15 times. You can't have this, you're gonna freak out. Immediate numbing, completely, almost like Novocaine. And the more you chew it, the more you keep it on one side of your mouth, it'll completely numb it. I got into this and didn't really know the full power of this plant, right? Popped it in, I'm chewing, whatever. I'm walking, I'm drooling on myself. Like, I didn't even notice. My whole mouth is numb. I'm talking to people like that. This is a very powerful plant.
I need some of that.
Very powerful
I'm
plant.
coming to his
You
garden
feel it?
talking about, I need some of that.
I can feel it.
Whole mouth is numb.
Whole mouth numb.
Wow.
It's very hard to find plants that people say get rid of certain things
Immediate.
that do what they say. This doesn't. I mean, as time is going by, my mouth is just
More
Yeah.
and more. Woo! Hey, you can swallow it. It ain't gonna do nothing to you, but suppose you're at work and you can't call off. You're in the middle of your shift, you just started, that toothache is really getting to you. You pop that in the mouth, maybe some of the leaves have the same effect, just not as much, right? And you just keep it back there, kind of like how, you know, the old country, like with snuff, with tobacco.
Yeah.
You just rest it there,
Whoa.
and it'll numb you up for the day. Very powerful.
Powerful.
All
Whoa. The
praise
cameraman
the
had to
Lord.
say powerful.
Have mercy.
All praise. But about 5 minutes, that'll go away, though.
Okay.
This is my birdhouse gourd.
Okay.
Many people might remember this from some videos that I made. I didn't even expect it to have a second run. Usually, when you have vines like this, eventually powdery mildew and things like that will get to them. You just can't really help that with this type of a plant.
Right.
But you can get what you can get out of it your first run, get the seeds to start over. It actually started all the way over, and it even has some fruit here.
Gotcha.
That's developing.
Okay.
You know, so.
Beautiful how life is, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful.
Oh yeah, that could be used to actually make birdhouses or canteens.
Okay.
It hold water. They can hold up to maybe, some of them get big enough to hold about a gallon of water.
This thing?
Yes, depending on the genetic you have and all of that, they can get big enough to hold a gallon of water. You cure it properly, coat the inside with beeswax, and you're ready to go.
It reminds me of what they used to use. It was some cane, the climbing kale or something, and they would put something on it and turn it into like a walking stick.
Really?
Yeah, it's called walking stick kale or something like that.
Now you got me. I got to go look that up now. I got to get
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I got to get that.
Yeah.
I got my lemongrass here. Back home we call it fever grass.
Okay.
When you're sick, when you're really going through something and you really need to sweat it out your body and your fever's going out of control, you grab a handful of this, cut it cut it maybe 6 inches from the base.
Okay.
And what that'll do is encourage more growth instead of hindering these few stalks.
Okay.
And you boil it, get some tea out of it, drink that, and go take a hot bath and sweat out whatever's infecting your system.
Okay.
Very useful, very practical. This right here is my favorite rosemary of all time. This is my Tuscan Blue. This is the most pungent, most oil resinous rosemary that I have. And
Because there's different types of
yes,
rosemaries, right? I just bought one the other day. So what kind did you say this one is?
a Tuscan Blue. Whenever you're
Tuscan
looking
Blue.
for rosemaries, anything with blue in the name, you know you're dealing with a genetic it's a stable genetic. Anything else I can't really speak upon because there's so much splicing and so much competitive nature in this field. But when you're dealing with a Tuscan Blue, you're dealing with something somebody actually got, grew, made cuttings of, and sold.
So I'm gonna have to get some of that from the brother too. I'm just saying.
I got you.
Because it's hard to find originality. Right?
What I would encourage you, if you're ever wanting to really get see
beautiful.
how strong your rosemary is, just tease it a little bit. And if you can stand away from it and still smell it,
right,
it produces enough oils to the point where if you're going to cook something, it's going to taste great. If you need it for medicinal properties, it's going to do what it needs to do. It's healthy enough for you to feel confident in this
I just
plant.
used some of that thing on some of that wham bam thank you lamb for the Feast of Trumpets. You understand? Yeah. All right.
All praises, all praises. This is a plant down here called Self-Heal.
Okay.
Literally, you use it for just about any ailment.
Really?
That you may, any practical ailment. I feel like I got a cold, I got some inflammation going on in my body.
So I'm just
Bubble
taking every
guts.
plant. By the time I'm done, I should be walking out of here like this.
Oh yeah, you gonna
Right?
you're gonna be right. This is actually the mother plant of my wormwood.
Okay.
So the genetic you saw in there in the sunroom is this same
I have
exact
to get some of
genetic.
this wormwood.
Same exact genetic.
Very rare herb. Very rare herb.
Took me a while to find it. This is my curry.
Okay.
This is my curry plant right here,
You're
right?
talking about the same thing that we use to make
Yes.
curry? Oh
Yes.
my goodness, Dan, boy, you got what I'm talking about, boy?
A lot of people don't know that.
Smells like it too.
Really?
Yes, a lot of people don't know that curry is not yellow.
Wow.
It
It's the
smells like
turmeric in curry that makes it yellow. Curry is
Boy.
actually, yeah, you like that?
That is
That's
beautiful.
what's up.
So you would turn this into a powder after dehydrating it? to
Oh yeah.
make-
Dehydrate it, powder it, put it in the cupboard. You got curry all year round.
Ooh, y'all hear that? We
Got that
want
coming
some.
soon for y'all.
I need a little natural dish from this.
Oh, most
You
definitely.
know, the more than the pesto got a little curry. It ain't gotta be too much. It's a small little dish. We put that thing on GOCC Media too, so you can smell the. Yeah.
Them aromatics is no joke, man, for real. So a lot of people don't know that curry powder, when you buy it from the store, is actually an accumulation of different spices. Most of all being turmeric, which gives it that look. But if you try Thai dishes like Thai curry and things of that nature, it's actually a green curry. So, fun fact on that. This is another birdhouse gourd here. This is like my prized one that I didn't even know was going to be a prized one, right?
And it's on a tree. What tree? Let me remember the name of that tree. That's a.
We call them,
Loquat?
I don't know what it's called, but we called them.
Loquat.
Laquat?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Chinese plum. Maybe?
So that's what we called them when I was younger. And we used to steal these things off people's tree and go home with a bag full and just
Yeah.
eat.
Yeah.
But you don't see kids eating these no more, man.
Not really.
It saddens the heart. But
We used to be playing apartment chase, and then we was eating them with them Loquats, right?
very good fruit. But what has happened here is it's actually coming from this small pot here with the aloe vera, right? So what I really want to bring to people is if you really learn your microbes, learn how to feed plants, learn how to water on a schedule, your plants can take off in the most unlikely circumstances. So in most circumstances, this is a shared pot, meaning they are fighting for all resources. But I keep them happy enough to the point where this birdhouse gourd is vining all over the place, so much so that it got so heavy it snapped that dead orange branch over there, right?
Wow.
Wicked snap over there. It's becoming so dense with foliage, and it's still holding on so strong that this section that's going deeper into the orange tree is stabilizing so well. I'm pretty sure maybe in a few weeks it'll stabilize itself well enough to where I can cut that whole branch off and it'll still hold up. That's how such an amazing climber this is, right?
Wow. So someone would just pass through here and think that, oh, what's that? What's that? This is just some grass here. This is just this. This is just that. Man, this is some amazing stuff.
Life,
right? So it's not all about the looks. You understand? Our people suffer from a lack of knowledge. Because his brother and others are having knowledge of certain things like this, this is what is going to get us through time.
All
right?
praises.
This is some of the things that Noah was praying to the Most High about, right? To rid of some of the demons, some of these herbs. You understand? So we had to start learning them. That's why we're bringing this to you guys on GOCC Media.
Praise the Most High. You really struck a nerve there with Noah because I assume all men in the body, all men in this walk have a person in the Bible they ascribe to, right?
Right.
Mine would be Job and Noah. Job being for his persistence regardless to what is going on. That's just an admirable trait in itself. So I'm really, I love Job. But when it comes to Noah, I have a special liking unto Noah because this is all what he did.
Right.
He grew the herbs. He knew what they did. He studied them. He tried them himself.
Right.
He got that knowledge straight from the heavenly on how to cure, grow, and make food for all mankind. So I just ascribe to get a piece of that knowledge that he got, just a little bit, and I'll be fine with that. So you know what I'm saying? All praises. I have my St. John's wort over here.
Okay.
This is a highly medicinal plant right here. It's actually one of the most sought after medicinal plants in the U.S. You go to Whole Foods, you can see this supplement in there all day. St. John's wort.
Okay.
Plethora of medicinal values. This is a bitter leaf right here. Now, this plant is known to regenerate people's organs.
Whoa, I got this in my garden too.
You got bitter leaf?
Brother Courtney gave me this and it survived really good.
He gave me this one.
Okay.
He gave me this one and I nurtured it to the point where I was able to give him a cutting back. Because did he give you his testimony?
No.
He was suffering kidney failure or kidney damage that was going to lead to kidney failure.
Ooh.
Got a hold of one of our African brothers over there, wherever he was at, because he travels to Ghana and things of that nature, and got the knowledge of this plant. Started taking it, and he said within like a month, he went back, got his blood work, and the doctor was like, "You're fine."
Ooh.
So
that's what I'm talking about.
Very powerful plant right here.
Whoa.
For those who can, it's very bitter though. This is something you take on Passover. But when it comes to medicine, we must deal with the bitterness of the plants. We have to deal with it. There's nothing we can do about it.
Taste that?
But this ought to be funny. Oh, like a G. Go ahead, man. Oh, man. Right on. All right, my brother. That's a sight to behold right there. With the youth taking this bitter plant, my goodness. And it's just grown outrageous, man. This is
hit me
very
late.
bitter.
It hit me late. It hit me late.
It's very bitter.
It's almost like aloe vera.
Yes.
You eat that aloe vera, it's almost like the longer you have it in your mouth, the worse it tastes.
Fun fact about aloe vera: when you're actually using it, you need to cut it and let it sit out for a few minutes. You'll see it secrete a yellow. Yellow fluid. That's actually it's pushing out its toxins that it makes to keep things away from it. Right?
Oh, I didn't know that.
That is what gives it that real bitter taste. So if you cut it, set it aside, wash it, you notice it's just a jelly you can eat.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, you just gave us some game. Mix it with a little orange juice.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So this is taken off tremendously. I've actually cut it.
It's beautiful, man.
I've actually cut it right here, if you can see, to make cuttings and clones. So right there.
Gotcha.
If I were to have let that grow just the way it would be probably about 20 feet tall by now. So this is a very, very fast grower. Come over here. I got my Aztec sweet herbs.
Okay,
Aztec sweet herb. These little pods right here are sweet as candy.
Okay.
and can be used as a sweetener like stevia.
You want to taste this one?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was sweet.
Aztec
I
sweetener.
need some of that too.
Yeah, I got you.
That's nice.
I got you.
I need another one. Let me get another one of them. That thing is nice.
And they're really sweeter when they actually open up and those white flowers come out.
Fire. That's
So-
sweet. That was a sweet one.
And actually, as I'm chewing it, it's actually cutting that bitterness from that
I've
from that
never
other herb.
experienced such herbs in the person's garden. So hopefully my brother will be generous and be a little
Gotcha.
charitable to add some of these things to my soon-to-be food forest like he has here. I mean, wow. I would have just walked past that, but like, what's that? That thing just looked like something like a little weed. What?
Mm-hmm.
It's not just a weed. It's actually something that just in disguise that's very sweet. It feel like you can actually sweeten, you know what I mean?
Pastries and everything
Wow.
with that play. Yes, sir.
So you would dry that out and then kind of
Powder it, and then you got sugar
whoa.
that won't give you that high glucose response in your body. So
Beautiful.
You can maintain, for my keto people out there, you can maintain your ketosis and still sweeten what you need sweetened. This is my moringa. Lately, she's gone crazy, doubled in height.
I need to get me a moringa because they're very. I had one die in the winter. I think I got it too late. I need to get one now before the winter comes so it can kind of take root.
I got you, definitely. I got some patchouli over here. I love the scent of patchouli, so I might just get that for its essential oils here. And
It almost looks like a tomatillo plant. Very similar.
it does.
leaves.
It does look. Yeah, yes.
Very similar. leaves. So you got your peppers going there.
These are my Mad Hatter peppers right here.
Okay.
And this is actually a pepper that was gifted to me. It's actually growing too much. I have to cut it back to the point where all the weight is holding it down.
Yeah.
She claimed it was a Scotch bonnet, but they don't get hot. Peppers, if you really want them to get hot, it depends on how you feed them. If there's not a lot of food, or if you're feeding it a different type of food, it can end up sweet like a bell pepper when it should be hot like a Scotch bonnet. So
Okay.
that's a fun fact as well.
Is this a sunflower here?
No, it's not. That actually is an invasive weed that has grown back time after time because we get so much rain, right?
Gotcha.
I have some more Malabar spinach down there. That's the green variant
Okay.
of the Malabar spinach. Those seeds just fall and they take over everywhere. Some Thai basil behind you.
Wow.
Has taken off. Love this type of basil.
Man, that sweet plant was amazing.
Yeah?
That was amazing.
So guys, what I do is I just come in my garden and I just eat leaves. And this is my way of getting
Basil.
just supplements in my body and minerals in my body that I may be lacking elsewise.
Okay.
And speaking of supplements, please go to Key Supplements and get some supplements, man. Please. I just got on that vegan protein powder. Bro,
Yeah, it's amazing.
wow. This is my actual Scotch bonnet down here. This is a very hot pepper. For those who, especially those who from the Caribbean, this pepper is no joke. Great for flavor, things of that nature. So that's it from my garden back here. I have some fruit trees I can definitely point out to you guys as well. This over here, further to the left, is a pear tree.
Okay.
That's been there for about 30 years. I have a peach tree here that just started giving me peaches after 3 years of having it. I was about to hew it down because I was getting tired of it not giving me nothing. This year it gave me peaches. And over there behind the little shed, I have a grapevine.
Okay.
So guys, yeah, we've been getting a lot of rain. Things have been going like crazy right now, right? So
Right.
with more rain comes more responsibility in the garden. You have to till it a little bit more. You have to really get in there more hands-on and know what's going on with your garden. So banana trees over there, as you can see.
Banana trees. I noticed this neighborhood, they love banana trees. Mission being as, I don't know if Issachar is over here or something, but they love these banana trees.
Well, I would say most of the banana trees in this neighborhood came from the generation before them. People had it in their on their property, and people just started to go with them. And that's what we did. That's a generational banana tree. It's died and come back plenty of times.
Well, listen, guys, we thank you for coming on today, for the tour of our brother's garden, and we will see you all very soon. Any last words you want to say?
Grow naturally, stick with us, and there's more to come. Much more to come.
All right, guys.
Peace.
We'll see you soon. Peace and blessings.